Hi all, thanks once again for your interest and for watching my updates. It's been a few months since I did the last update, this time because every time I thought about creating a new update there's been something outstanding that needed clarification, or we were waiting for a consultation or an update ourselves. I have been on private healthcare for my cancer treatment since the last update, as I was running out of options within the NHS. In essence, this is because the NHS has not yet authorised my current treatment of a combination of therapies for my form of secondary cancer of the liver. It's likely that it will be approved by September 2025, but that's far too late for me. I'm now on a combination of chemotherapy and immunotherapy. In the last update I stated that immunotherapy was not appropriate or available for my distribution and type of cancer. What I didn't make clear was that I was speaking about the very modern headline making treatments that are related to the kind of technologies used for some of the vaccinations used during the pandemic, as well as many targeted treatments and clinical trials using immunotherapy. The immunotherapy targets the cancer's ability to create new blood supplies, which restricts its ability to grow. The chemotherapy continues as it appears to be restricting the growth of the other tumour sites in the lungs and peritoneum. During the last few months, I've had a series of different scans, from the more well-known and common CT and MRI scans to a more recent full-body PET scan. The MRI of my liver indicated that there may be something showing in my spine. My spine was just on the edge of the scan. So my oncologist referred me to have a full-body PET scan. It's an interesting scan that involves abstaining from all exercise for 24 hours and consuming only water for the 6 hours immediately before the scan. That was quite annoying as the scan was immediately after lunch. The PET scan uses a radioactive form of fluorodeoxyglucose. Being a high energy source, glucose is taken up by the most active cells in the body at that time. If you've been properly restful for the full 24 hours, then the most active cells in the body will be the cancer cells. That means that they light up like a Christmas tree on the PET scan. Alas, the scan clearly showed the known sightings of cancer, but also confirmed some issues with my spine. Firstly, they found that I had some historic spinal damage, 2 partially collapsed vertebrae. This does go some way to explain my intermittent back pain over the past 30 years or so. This is just something to be aware of, and these were the T8 and T9 vertebrae you can see on the diagram in orange. The second issue is more serious, as they did find evidence that the disease had spread to 2 of my vertebrae. As you might guess from the diagram, these are the T10 and L4 vertebrae. I've been advised that this is not something that needs immediate additional treatment, but that I must keep an eye out for numbness or weakening in my arms and legs, or any significant increase in pain. A significant issue would likely trigger what they called an oncological emergency. Not sure what they'd do if it was a huge issue, but generally speaking, cancer of the bones is treated with radiotherapy. All that being said, I only have minor niggly pain in my back, and it's nothing new to me. As for my condition in general, the cancer in my liver, lungs and peritoneum seems to be being held at bay with only slow growth. The main cancer indicators from my bloods show a significant drop, which was a surprise but a very welcome one. This is put down directly to the immunotherapy that was the treatment that wasn't available to me via the NHS. Recently, my chemotherapy caused a very bad bout of diarrhea which lasted 4 days. I didn't feel well at all immediately before or after that. That was quite a worrying time, as I may have ended up in A&E. I lost 4 pounds during those days, but the diarrhea did abate. It has meant a reduction in my chemotherapy dosage to hopefully prevent any further occurrence. I have to say the nursing staff were extremely helpful and kept in constant contact whilst I was ill. Other than that, my biggest issue has been fatigue. Not too bad, but it has meant that I need to rest up if I'm busy. Just a frustration that I need to take into account, but it does get to me from time to time. We continue to get out and about. We really enjoyed the ABBA concert back in May, ABBA Voyage. Anybody that's thinking of going, I'd recommend it. And I have seen many friends both out and about and at home, as well as many virtual meetups as well. We met up with my family back in Hereford and Powys, and we even met up with the odd friend whilst we were there. We had a great time meeting up with my colleagues at Rent-A-Cone Initial in June. Once again, I can only thank RI for their understanding and care over the past, well, almost 2 years now. Without RI, I would not have had the private health care and therefore my current treatment plan. As for my hobbies, I haven't felt well enough to do the more involved activities like playing computer games and such, but I have continued to paint some Dungeons and Dragons figurines, watch some box sets and movies and TV, and do some puzzle books and such. I have a poster of 100 movies you should watch. So far I've only managed 8. The last of which was A Clockwork Orange, which was not a lot of fun to watch. We continue to prepare for our trip to Norway. We've booked some excursions, and in some ways the whole trip feels a little bit like a dream. Fingers crossed all will be well with excellent weather and such, but we are determined to have the very best possible time throughout the cruise regardless. It does, after all, include our 25th wedding anniversary. Speaking of which, a few weeks before the cruise, on the 11th of August, we are having a blessing on our marriage at the church service in St. Peter's, Bexhill. Still can't believe it's been 25 years. How that time has flown. Once again, I'll finish, as always, by repeating that your thoughts, prayers, wishes, hugs and so forth are greatly appreciated. And thanks to everyone over the past 23 months or so for everything you've said and done. There may not be an update in August, so don't be surprised, as we go to Norway. But I'll see you in September. And on that note, I'll thank you and see you next time. Bye.